There are many things you can take away from the Agile software development principles and apply towards running your whole entire business. This isn't something we set out to do, run our business being Agile. Sort of a way we came about it, and I won't bore you with what Agile software development is. I'll have some links right down here if you want to take a look and read about Agile software development. Essentially, it's a common sense approach towards tackling management of something. As opposed to planning out 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, even 10 years, I've heard, throw all that into the garbage. Have a vision for where you want to take your organization. Have a vision for where you want to take your department. Have a vision for where you want to take your customers and how you want to serve them better. Those are all great things, and those may be 1, 2, 5, 10-year visions. Those are awesome. But cut it into really small pieces. What do you need to do today? What do you need to do this week? What do you need to do maybe over the next 3 weeks? What do you need to do over this month? Tops. Don't look out any farther than that. Organizations that are able to operate in this manner will find themselves at a distinct competitive advantage over organizations that cannot. The speed at which you're able to operate when your organization is agile, and the ability for you to listen to your customers, and the ability for you to shuck and jive and be able to adapt based on what you're listening to, both in the marketplace, with your customers, with your employees, not being stuck to a 1-year plan, a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, and not wasting any time talking about those sorts of plans. Marching orders for a year, I believe, are absolutely pointless. Vision for a year is great conversation to have. Get a six-pack, sit around, and talk about your vision of where you want to take the company with your close people. That sounds awesome. Allow a platform to emerge so that all your employees can talk about where you want to take the company and the vision for it. Those are all worthwhile conversations. But tactical planning that lasts a year, 2 years, 5 years, doesn't make any sense. Cut things into very small chunks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and enable small teams to go out and actually accomplish large things in short amount of time. You'd be amazed at how empowered people feel when you give them a vision and say, here's the 4 people that are working on this particular aspect of our business. Run at it. And just get out of the way. Enable them to self-organize, enable them to do things in an iterative fashion, and enable them to really see success because you've created an environment that allows them to innovate. And that's really what great people want to do. And you're able to retain people because you set up this sort of environment. The main challenge that needs to be addressed is transparency. You need everybody in your organization to see what everybody else is working on, or else this doesn't work. You can't have teams running in all these different directions without transparency into which teams are doing what. And that way, when one team shucks one way, another team can jive with them because they see that that's happening. And it's super important that that transparency is in place. As we've now grown to over 180 people at Total Attorneys, we're looking at, we just installed a new platform actually that's taken off. Jive software has something called ClearSpace, or it's now called social business software, cross between 37 Signals Basecamp and Facebook almost. It's a social platform that allows for people to kind of get to know each other socially and create groups, but also allows for transparent project management and transparent work going on. This really just rolled out about 2 weeks ago, so it's so far going so well. But the idea is, if you're able to allow employees to follow projects that they find of interest and to follow projects that they're not involved in but impact what they're working on in some way, and they can see all the changes that are made and things that are rolled out every 2-3 weeks through watching the message boards or videos that are posted up by people on the team or anything like that, transparency allows you to stay agile. And if you have great vision for where you want to take your organization, you enable the people working inside your organization to work towards that vision and shape that vision and create small teams that don't have to worry about things in more than 2 to 3 week chunks. You'll find yourselves at a great competitive advantage over large organizations that are going to have a really hard time adapting to this. I do think that there is lots of opportunity for small companies to really leverage the fact that they're a small organization and use it as an advantage. So coming up in the issue, Inc. magazine's May issue, should be an article, although it may find itself on the editing room floor, we'll see, about Total Attorneys, how we are using Agile to power our whole business. And I spent a lot of time with the writer at Inc., Darren Dahl, and really enjoyed working with him on the piece. He talked with lots of our customers, lots of our employees. We'll see how much is in the article, but really enjoyed sort of flushing out this. And at the end of the day, what we really came to the conclusion of internally here is that we didn't set out to be an agile business. It just was a real common sense approach to us, not looking at things in such large chunks. So at the end of the day, it's not innovative. It's not. It's nothing all that special. It just happens to be unique. The ability to make decisions when they're here, as opposed to talking about them. Where's the camera? As opposed to talking about them when they're out here. Make the decisions when they're here. You have all the information in front of you. You have everything you need to know. So that's my thoughts on Agile and running your business using the principles of Agile. It offers an opportunity to leapfrog your competition. Go Agile.